All right, so let's look at these steps. Screen is in my way. There you go. All right, so the first step A, it was in cell L4, enter 2,387.12 cents. Ooh, and I did that already because, like I said, I look at the first few steps, and then it says also format as accounting. So you would click on that, and hit the right click, and go to format cells, and click on accounting. All right, then you will hit OK. So anybody have any problems with that? With what I just said, try to do it step by step. So you hit the right click whenever you want to format your cells. Hit the right click on that cell, and then go down to format cells, and you have different options that you can use. All right. So then it says in L6, enter a formula which takes the starting balance in L4, subtracts it from any expenses for this row, and they tell you may subtract the sum of the expenses, and then adds deposit for that day. Remember, there's a template. Let's see this. Okay, so what I did, I think that step I did as well. So first of all, you got to make sure you're in the right cell. So L and then 6 right there, that lines us up right here. And so what I did was I already knew about the sum, how to use the sum. And so if you want to do the sum of anything, you have to start off with the equal sign, and then you can start typing sum. And what you would do is use parentheses, and then whatever rows, from what row to what row that you want to add. So if I wanted to do, let's go here. This is B6. I'm just showing you an example. I'm going to erase this B6 to, let's say, H6. Close the parentheses and hit enter. And that will add up all of those values from B6 to H6. All right. So now, well, what this wanted was for us to take the sum of values from B6 to J6. Let me see. Scroll back over. Oh, just in the first row. So yeah, B6 to J6 is first row, and then subtract them from this beginning balance. So what I did was, let me go ahead and delete this. You look up here, L4 is our beginning balance. Now in front of L4, I put that equal sign. So whenever you're gonna do a calculation or formula, you need to put the equal sign. So I did L4 minus. So to do your subtraction, you always use your minus sign, then the sum. And that was B6 to K6. Probably should have did J6, not K6. There should be the same value, but K6 are your deposits. So it would be B6 to J6. All right. And then what I did was I wasn't sure about the subtracting. So what I did was I just Googled how to subtract in Excel. And so it just said just use the minus sign. And so then what ended up happening was when I used the minus sign, Excel told me to put the equal sign in front of the L4. So it's going to be for those of us who are not familiar with using these symbols and everything, it's going to be a little bit of trial and error. You may have to go to Excel. I mean, not go to Excel, go to Google or Siri or whatever. And I don't know if you guys can see that screen. I think you guys are still on. Sorry about that. I forgot I didn't share the screen. So yeah. So I typed in how to subtract in Excel, and then it gave me the information. So you guys can see it now. Okay, so let's go back to the assignment. Okay, let's look at C. We cannot fill the formula. And what they didn't want was for you to calculate it on the calculator and then just type in the answer. You know, they want you to get used to using Excel. So certain things they told you to type in, like the first one, they said type in the balance in L4. But for the most part, they want you to figure out how can you use Excel to your benefit. Because what that allows is for you to be able to type in values, and then that would, so in other words, when I look at, scroll this over. When I look at this value, if I want to put in an expense right here for telephone bill, let's say it's $53. So now instead of having to calculate that, I can just, why won't this thing move? If I hit $53, hit enter, that automatically changes my value now. Instead of, you know, I can just add stuff to this, you know. So that's why they want you to be able to, and then deleting it takes it back to where it was. All right, so we were at B in cell 6. L6, enter a formula which takes the starting balance and, oh no, that's the one we just did. We're looking to see. We cannot fill the formula in L6. Okay, so in L7, enter a formula which takes the previous balance in L6, just right here, and subtracts any expenses for that row. Okay, so that's the same, pretty much the same formula we just used, is that we have to take these values. All right, so it says in L7, it's messing me up. In L7, we want to subtract the balance in L6. So we do L6 minus the sum of everything in that row. Okay, make sure I read it right because I don't see anything in that row. Let me go back. In cells L7, formula which takes the previous batch for L6 to subtract any expenses for that row. Oh, okay, in D it says now field. Okay, all right, so we're gonna put some stuff in there. Okay, I'm with it now. So looking at B7 to J7, okay. Right, so there's nothing in this row, but they told us to take the balance from L6 and subtract the sum of all of the values in that row 7. So that's B7, just like we did before, but instead of B6 to J6 is B7 to J7. And like I said, since nothing is in that row, nothing should change as far as that balance is concerned. Now in D, they're telling us to fill in the values. Matter of fact, let me take those pick, and then I'll have to scroll back. All right, so for January, D. I took a picture and then lost it. What in the world? January for row 24. January 19, 22, 37 for gas. Gas. And then 128.99 for phone. And then 75.43 for electric. Oh, I'm supposed to format them all as county. So just going by the directions, they even had those spots blued out. They told us to type in those values for the gas, for the phone, and for the electric. And what's also important is that you do what they tell you and not what you think you're supposed to do. Because like I was thinking that they were going to give me instructions to put in values up here, but they told me to go down to January 19th, row 24, and put in values down here. So whatever it is they're doing this practice, they're trying to get you guys used to the terminology and used to Excel itself. They told me to format all of these as accounting. All right. Was there did anybody try this and there was a specific step that got them, or do some of us just need to get in there?
I needed to get in there, period, because I just enrolled on Thursday. So I'm literally sitting here and I'm like, yo, I'm kind of following you though. And Excel, I've never used it before, but I'm kind of following everything you're doing, and I can kind of get an idea as to what we're trying to do with this assignment. So.
And it's just a practice assignment. There isn't a real application for it. They're just trying to get you. And as a matter of fact, I think it's coming out of section 0, which is the orientation section.
Okay.
So they're really just trying to get you familiarized with Excel happenings.
Okay.
So I hadn't, since this is your first day, I haven't done any lecture yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So you haven't missed anything. It was just getting into my math lab and starting these assignments. Yep.
I had gotten into that, and I did the trial first, but I'm going to purchase it as well. So.
Gotcha. Did I hear another voice that was about to chime in?
Yeah.
All right, what you got, man?
Oh, I just enrolled Wednesday, so I ain't know nothing about this yet. I haven't done this yet.
Okay. Yeah. Did you guys? Well, I know you said, Ms. Ross, you said that you saw it. Malik, did you see the course ID and everything like that for my math lab?
Yeah, on the TCC thing.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Okay, cool. Long because some people were registering a little late, but then they didn't see in Canvas, course ID and stuff like that. So some people were having that issue, some people weren't. So I didn't know if you were. So just making sure.
Talking about like the Parson thing too.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Also, for those who have been in my math lab, have you tried getting into the e-text? I still do not have access, but I don't know what you guys have access to.
Let's see. That's in the math lab, right?
Yes. I need to know what I need to complain about, because like I said, I don't have access to it. It keeps saying subscription not found.
It said learn how to submit an Excel homework problem. It brings you to like basic spreadsheet. Yeah, it's like a video.
So you can see the e-text. So let's do this. I'm going to share my math lab and make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Okay.
For me on my math lab, when I go up there and click on assignments, it still says like it's in a different browser or something.
Yeah, you use your pop-up blockers.
Yeah. So pop-up blockers, and if you are using Safari, it will not work that well for you. You will have to use either Chrome or Firefox.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
And those assignments that you gave us last week, I can still do those, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I haven't put it anything. I'm trying to get us in our flow first, trying to get everything flowing before I start putting due dates out there. And I know for some people, yeah, no problem. I know for some people, Excel is not that, they're not as proficient as they would like to be in Excel. So try not to stress you guys out too much before, get it going. Let's see, sign in. All right, so here we go, e-text. And click on chapter 1, 1.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I want to explore. I see, and this is what I'm getting.
Oh.
So have you guys tried doing, is that what you guys just tried? Going to the e-text and that on the left side? E-text contents, section 1 or something. It don't have to be 1 anything, chapter 2.
I mean, I'm in it, so I don't know.
Oh, well, maybe it's just me.
1.2.
Yeah, maybe it's just
try
me.
what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hang on.
Right. Maybe can I go? Maybe if I go another route, I don't know another route to go though. Yeah, still didn't let me in. So is everybody having to say everybody's getting in there and they just won't let me in?
It looks like it's loading. I don't know.
Okay.
Mine was just loading for a long time, so I was just like, okay.
Same.
It might be
Who's
that.
getting in? I got in. Welcome to your e-text. Your e-text is ready to go anytime, anywhere.
Oh, that's dirtball. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then it's showing me understand order operations.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, at least you guys can see it. So one day I'll be able to get in there and try to teach you guys something out of it. Or I'll just give everybody an A and call it a day, right?
That works too. I saw order operations. I was like, oh Lord, we're going back.
Wow, that's crazy. At least you guys are my witness that I can't get
That
in.
you can't get in.
Right. All right. So make sure you guys, I know I can do at least talk about functions. I think that was the first thing that it mentioned. So at least we can talk a little bit about functions. But see, I don't know how in depth they go because I don't have access. But we'll do a little something just so we can at least have something that we talked about outside of the Excel thing. So before we leave Excel, any other questions before we look at something else?
Other than just needing to play around with it a lot.
Right. Now, after you play around with it, if you have more questions, feel free to bring in the class or even shoot me an email, and then we'll just go from there. But I think majority of people still need to play around with it, and sometimes questions are generated once you get in there, versus just looking at it and then looking at me mess with it. All right. So try it out and either let me know next class or, like I said, shoot me an email. So let's do this. Let me share my other screen so we talk a little bit about functions, and then hopefully by next class I have a solution. I texted somebody earlier today trying to get in there because I noticed I still wasn't allowed in there. Okay, move this. What do I call this here? So like I said, I don't have the book, but I know the first couple of problems in 1-1. For those, this your first day. When you go into my math lab, you have two different types of assignments. You have your Excel assignments like we saw, like we just finished messing with, but then you also have just a regular my math lab assignments in which you have problems that you would be doing. And so in your regular my math lab assignments, first start off talking about functions. So that's what we'll do today. And I'll go from here. All right, so definition of a relation. We're talking about functions, but the first thing we have to hit is relation. So relation is any set of ordered pairs. And ordered pairs are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ordered pair. And a lot of times that goes back to us, graphing on the number line, the Cartesian coordinate plane, I should say, when we had this type of thing. Hopefully that's not too foreign, or you guys haven't left that too far back in your last class. But whenever we plotting points, we use order pairs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just a simple example of a set of order pairs. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, y'all. My daughter had to use the bathroom. And I just didn't want her explaining the situation while I was on camera. Okay. So it's an order pair. So domain is just a set of all first components of your order pairs. So that's 1, 3, and 5. And you arrange. Set of all second components. All right, and then your range will be the set of all second components of your order pairs. All right, just make sure we're clear on the difference between the two, your domain versus your range. If I scroll up too fast and you're still writing or something like that, feel free to let me know. It's not that big a deal. It's your time.
have a question. Is there a way for me to like remember domain and range? Can I be like the odd numbers and even numbers? Because that's kind of what I'm getting, the feel of
Well,
it,
no, it just so happened that I did odd and even
Okay.
in this case, yeah. But domain, if you go more so with first versus second, domain is your first components, range is
Okay.
your second components. Because your domain and range can be any values, just that what actually sticks is that the domain are your first values, your range are your second values.
Okay, got
it. Mr. Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question also. Does anybody have the book that I can follow the book along with what you're teaching?
No, unfortunately, they only make it available with the electronic copy. So what you could do now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if you were in here because I let some people in a little late. I don't even have the book right now. So for some reason, y'all have access to the book and I do not. So even flowing with the book right now, let's say if you had another computer, or let's say you were looking at me on your phone and you had your computer up and following along in the book, right now it wouldn't even be that a good flow, a good pairing, because I'm just doing this off of another book and what I remember about functions and different things about it. Once I get access to, once they fix my account, then it would be a better flow, because I would look at the stuff the night before or a couple of days before, make sure I'm flowing along with the book. And I'm holding you accountable exactly accountable for what the book is holding you accountable for. But until I get access, I just didn't want to have another day in which there was no lecture at all. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So once I get that flow, I'll let you. Once I get that book, access to the book, I'll let you guys know for sure, and then we can go like that.
Yes.
Mr. Tucker, I have a question as well. I have a book. They gave me, I'm gonna show you in a second. Hold on. Is this the book that is, am I supposed to have this book? Hold
on. I don't see you, so let me unshare so I can see everybody. There we go.
Yeah, that's the book.
Yeah, that's the worksheets. Right.
Oh, okay.
So they give you, if you order it through I guess Barnes and Noble, with the access and everything, they'll give you worksheets. And we do suggest that you go ahead and buy them, because I think by themselves they're only like $20. It's just that it seems to be expensive because you're buying it with the code. The code is what makes it cost that much. But they don't give you an actual text. Now the workbook is good for you because you're able to work right along, do the exercise and everything like that. So it is beneficial for you to have.
So I should be using this book.
Yes.
Does this does this pair with the assignments, or like the assignments that you assign, as far as, I don't know.
Yes, there's supposed to be a connection between the assignments and the workbook, the worksheets and the workbook and the textbook. So that's why I think it's imperative for me to get actual access to the text. So like I said, I can hold you accountable for what the text hold you accountable for, because each math book takes you, even though all math is the same and that doesn't change, sometimes there might be little things here and there wherein this book may not ask you to do certain things where another book would. So then when you put your answers in my math lab, they'll hold you accountable for what that book or the type of answers that book will be looking for. Okay. So having that workbook will be beneficial to you. But it's not the actual book. You know what I mean? Say again?
I said, right. Okay, so excuse me, I'm sorry, I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I got the workbook, but I want the actual.
Right.
That's right.
And just to be honest with the situation, what they're trying to do is take as much money as possible without putting as much money out. So they don't, them not having to put out an actual physical text save money. So they put, they don't have to print out paper and ink. I'm just, this is not anything anybody told me. This is just me talking to y'all. You know what I mean? Right. They don't have to put out a publication and all the stuff like that. They just put it e-text. And if everybody roll with it, then everybody roll with it. You know what I mean? So it's, if the college don't say anything, then, they got the college money and everybody happy. And so, yes, they unfortunately, they did not do, because I would rather have a book. So I could look at, just like I'm looking at this book right here, I'd rather have a book right here when I can just look at it, right, do whatever I want to do.
Yes.
would be more beneficial to me as well, but they don't have it. And then I wouldn't have a problem with trying to get a subscription to an e-text that's not in my possession. So trust me, I feel you. I'm with you. If I find another option, because like I said, I'm gonna have to complain to Pearson about the fact that I don't have this text, access to this text. If I do find out another option that would benefit you guys to be able to get a actual text in your hand, I will let you know.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Trust me, I feel you. I understand. So let's see. Let's go back to domain and range. All right. So Y variables. I can write that better.
When you're finished writing this, can you scroll back up for a second so I could see what you wrote?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, so just giving you just in comparison, a straight comparison between the domain and range. Like mentioned before, your first component versus your second component. X variables and your Y variables. Your X will be your domain, range will be your Y. But you're not, stuck with just using X and Y. So that's why they give you all these other different things that you can use to determine what your domain is versus your range. Your input, the values that you plug into the equation, would be your domain. Your output would be your range, the values that you get out. And then independent variable versus dependent variable. And I'll show you what I mean in a second, but let me scroll up. For that person who asked me to scroll up, tell me where to stop. Don't know what you're looking for.
Sorry, right here is fine. I just wanted to see, it's Latira. I just wanted to see what you wrote. I didn't get a chance to write it down. Well,
okay.
Some of it. Thank you.
Not a problem. All right, let me know when you are ready.
I got it.
All right. So let's look at function, an actual function. Correlation. How do I want to write it? Which Let's say one element since I see element. Ooh. All right, so definition of a function. A function is a relation in which the elements from the domain corresponds to exactly one element in the range. Also, just making sure I emphasize, you guys getting into my math lab, because if by some chance I miss you in attendance, through here, because some of you are late after lecture, so I may not get you as far as attendance is concerned. I can always go back to my math lab and get your attendance from there because you participated or logged on, or the fact that you're in there, period. It lets me know that you came to class. So make sure you get registered in my math lab so I can give you credit for being around. Thank you. All right. So let's look at this.
How do I register?
You have to go to, as a matter of fact, what you can do is stay on after everybody's left, and then I'll give you those directions.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so this exercise tells us to determine whether each relation is a function. So in the first one, they give us 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 8, 4, 9. So what we could do is create a mapping. All right, and 1 goes to 6, 2 goes to 6. And so we see that 1 goes to 6, 2 goes to 6, 3 goes to 8, 4 goes to 9. And we have to ask ourselves, does this fit the definition of a function? So remember what the definition of a function is, that a function is a relation in which the elements from the domain corresponds to exactly one element in the range. So even though 1 goes to 6 and 2 goes to 6, individually they are only going to one element. So it's not like 1 is going to 6 and then it's going to 5. Everybody okay with that? 1 is only going to one element, which is 6, and 2 is going to one element, which is also 6. 3 is going to 8, 4 is going to 9. So they are all going to one element, and as an individual element, they're all going to 1 in the range. So that makes it a domain. It makes it a function.
I'm confused. I don't know.
Okay. So go back to the definition. No, it's all right. Go back to the definition. A function is a relation in which the elements from the domain corresponds to exactly one element in the range. So you look at your domain. Your domain is 1, 2, 3, 4. Your range is 6, 8, 9. So you have to ask yourself this question for each individual element in your domain. Does 1 go to exactly 1 element in the range? The answer is yes. Does 2 go to exactly 1 element in the range? Yes. Does 3 go to 1 element? Yes. Does 4 go to 1 element? Yes. If you're answering yes for all of those, then it is a function.
Will you do an example of one that's not?
Absolutely not.
That way it looks, you know what I mean? Because that way it looks super simple. So it's like, well, what if it's a trickier way? You know what I mean?
You know what? We are not here to do different, okay? We're not here. This is all we're here for. You're only going to get one example, and that is it.
Done. That's it.
Yes. I'm so okay. I guess when
but that's A. I'm about to go to B.
Oh no, I'm still confused. I guess. Okay, so 1 is the first. I mean, the domain is the first component of the ordered pair. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
So is this 1 and a 6? Is that considered a pair? Is that an
That's an ordered pair?
Okay, but like to me in my brain, I don't know why. Like any of these numbers could go to any of these other numbers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't.
Now let me say it like this too. And I need you to, if you have these type of thoughts or questions, make sure you guys ask them, because there are certain things they are expecting you to know from like a previous class that they're not gonna actually go through. So when they say ordered pair, they assume you already know what an ordered pair is.
Right.
So I'm just saying, so certain sections are gonna have assumptions attached to them. So just like I went through domain and range, and when it mentioned the X and Y and all the stuff like that, they're gonna assume certain things. So if there's anything that's unclear, make sure you ask them. So like I said, just emphasizing that what you're doing right now is what is actually most definitely need to be done. So an ordered pair, what would be the best way of saying this? So if I have, let me just scroll down, 10, 11, right? That is an ordered pair. It's called an ordered pair because the order matters. Normally what's assigned to it is X and Y, and that comes from your Cartesian coordinate plane, when your X is your horizontal axis, Y is your vertical axis. And what that will allow me to do is plot the points, plot points, but plot this point of 10, 11. In other words, I would go to the right 10 and then up 11, and I would have this point of 10, 11. So when I look at these ordered pairs, one is saying, when I plug 1 into my equation, I get out 6. When I plug 2 in my equation, I get out 6. When I plug 3 into my equation, I get out 8. When I plug 4 into my equation or my function, I get out 9. So it goes to, let's say if my equation is y equal to 2x plus 1. Well, if x is equal to 5, I plug 5 into my equation and see what I get out. What I get out is my y.
Be 11.
Okay, put me in the remedial class because I don't know.
No, you're not alone. Everyone's
you're fine.
To remedial math. Where is it?
So, but do you see? But so far, as far as what I've explained, I mean, are you okay? The first value is, that's why I said when you go back to you looking at your domain and compare it to your range, your domain is what you plug into the equation. In other words, this 5 will be a part of my domain. What I get out is my range. In other words, this 11. My ordered pair that's created by this function is 5, 11. 5 is what I plugged in. 11 is what I got out.
Well, I understand how you got 11 because 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. But okay, I just have to watch because I don't know.
No. What was the but though? What was the but?
I know what an ordered pair is, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm confused. I feel like I'm confused. I don't know necessarily.
Let me say this. If you know what an ordered pair is it possible that you're adding too much to this problem?
Yes.
In other words,
overthinking it.
Yeah, I think you're overthinking it. I think you're trying to figure out how they got 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 8, 4, 9. Yeah, you're doing too much. they ain't asked you to do that. You doing stuff that ain't nobody asked you to do.
I have anxiety. I overthink everything.
They didn't put that wasn't part of the problem. They just said, look, tell me, is this a function or not? You doing too much. We have to put, you talking about going to remedial, we had to put you in the honors class because we So was that the problem? Trying to figure out how they got from 1 to 6, 2 to 6, 3 to 8, 4 to 9?
Yes, very much so. I'm like, where do these numbers come from?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was the same thing for me.
Yeah,
too.
go to the honors class. We're not talking to you right now. So there's no connection. They just gave you some order pairs and say, does this relationship represent a function? That's it.
So the domain number should never be larger than the range number. Am I correct?
You're doing too much. See, you're doing too much again. Ain't
Oh,
nobody
I'm trying. I'm trying to get it.
Keep it simple.
That ain't got nothing to, you got me coming all out of my language. That ain't got nothing. That has nothing to do with anything right now. All they did was gave you 1 6 as an order pair, 2 6 as an order pair, 3 8 as an order pair, 4 9 as an order pair.
Okay.
And that's it. Don't add nothing else to it. Nothing else.
I'm gonna ask a lot of questions when this class is over.
That's not a problem. You can ask the question. I'm just messing with you. Try to keep it light. But if you added more to this other than the fact that they gave you these 4 ordered pairs, then you're doing too much with this example. Okay. So I'm about to do another example, which will give you the example of something that's not a function. Once again, though, they're just random numbers, and they're asking you, does it represent a function? All right. So let's go down here.
So are you recording this so we can look back on the lesson at a further time if we need to?
No, man, I don't record nothing. No, just mess with y'all. All right, yeah, it's recorded. It's recorded. Normally I send out recordings probably on Thursday. So in other words, I would send out both lectures at the same time. So, we meet on Mondays and Wednesdays. So I would send them both out instead of doing it like one on Tuesday and then one on, I would send both of them out at the same time at the end of the week. So either Thursday or Friday is when I send out those lessons. Unless it's something in high demand and y'all really got to see it now because the assignment coming, then I would just make an exception. But normally that's how I do it. But yeah, most definitely it's recorded. And the only thing that will mess this up if technology doesn't do what it's supposed to do. If it doesn't record, Ms. Gallup, I see you shaking your head. But if for some reason it doesn't record or whatever, it wasn't my fault. I made the attempt to do so. If something YouTube happened crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I'll create a YouTube link and then shoot those things out to you guys. All right. So hopefully this will clear up some things as well. Looking at this next example. Oh, no, 1 8. All right, so this time we have 6 1 6 2 8 3 9 4. Really, all they did was switch the ordered pairs. The order of the ordered pairs, inversion from the previous example. If we create that same mapping that I was referring to before and see the difference, the domain is 6, 8, and 9 this time. The range is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now if I do my mapping, 6 is going to 1, and 6 is going to 2, 8 goes to 3, 9 goes to 4. So now the red flag here is that 6 is going to 1 and 6 is going to 2. And that stops it from being a function.
Okay.
So
I have a question about that because on number 1, on your other example, the first one went to 2. So why is this inappropriate?
No, go back and look at it. The first one went to just 6.
But okay. So 2 domains can go to the same range.
There you go.
But 2 two domains. What?
Yeah. Okay, so this is where you can look at it. Let me see. You can have repeated values in your range, but you cannot have repeated values in your domain.
So basically, even in the odd numbers.
Yeah, so being even and odd has, it has nothing to do with it. It's really about, does a value in your domain go to more than one value in your range?
Can you scroll up again so I could look at the thing you said? I meant that. Okay, right there. So, okay, a domain can go to the same range, but a domain, I don't know. Yeah,
Let's see if I can do this. Let me see if I can say it the way I think you're trying to say it to help you guys out. If not, let's see. I think I'm gonna write it a couple different ways.
Okay.
Try to write. So you can have a repeated value in a range, but no value can repeat in the domain. Let's see. Do I want to write another way?
So the domain can only go to one number, one range, not the multiple.
Right.
Make it a no, not a
right.
function.
Range can go to more than one value.
Okay.
Oh, I get it. Because the first one you was just asking, is it a function? Right?
Well, yeah, I was asking for that in the both of them.
Oh, never mind. Be quiet.
The range can go to more than one value. Domain can only go to one value. So yeah, there can be a repeated value in the range, but no value can repeat in the domain. The range can go to more than one value. Domain can only go to one value. I think that pretty much solidifies. Yeah. Questions on those relationships? Make sure you're all right. The difference between something being a function and not being a function.
I have a quick question.
I'm listening.
All right, so if more numbers are in the range than the domain, does that make it not a function?
No, not necessarily. Nope. It's all about the mapping. It's really all about, does the domain go to more than one value in the range? Because that can happen as far as mappings are concerned, but really you're still asking yourself the question, does the domain go to exactly one value? As long as the elements in your domain go to exactly one value in the range, then it's still a function. I think, let me do this real quick. Am I still in my math lab? trying to look at one more thing before I let you guys go for today. Feel free to, if you have a question, ask it while I'm scrolling.
When's the Excel thing we were doing earlier due? Was that due last Wednesday or?
Well, no, I know it most definitely wasn't due last Wednesday. Man, I don't even know. I hadn't even thought about when it's going to be due. I'm just trying to, first of all, I'm trying to get a copy of the book, get access to the book, and then trying to get us in some type of flow. And I think me getting that book and being able to talk to you guys about what they hold you accountable for would be an assistant in that. So right now there's no due date, but you do want to get it done as soon as possible because you don't want to have stuff just lingering around for no reason. So I haven't put a date on it yet, but I will soon. I probably will include it with all of chapter 1's stuff. So for those, this is your first day, I don't like to set out like a date for 1 or 2 assignments. I like to have a block of assignments that are due on a certain date. So all of chapter 1 can be due on whatever date. And then all of chapter 2 will be due on, whatever date. And so normally those dates will be set up when we get closer to closing out chapter 1. So when we get closer to finishing out lectures in chapter 1, then I'll say, okay, examining time, how much time we have left. This is when all of chapter 1 will be due. So we'll just leave that out there for right now. But like I said, what you don't want to do is procrastinate too hard or too long and just leave it out there and then have a giant amount of work, waiting for you, when that due date, happens. So yep. Get it done as soon as possible. Following situation, state 2 variables might be described by function. Jump in the airplane. Year. So yes, so that is it as far as functions are concerned. I won't go into deep function detail because it doesn't look like that's what they're asking of you when you go into the assignments. But yeah, just like this first one, let me go share the screen. You guys see the homework screen, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it says, in the following situation, state whether 2 variables related in a way might describe a function. If so, identify the independent, dependent variables. You jump from an airplane, and they say with a parachute. I'm glad they said that. And want to know how far you have traveled at various times during your descent. So don't forget what a function represents. And so you jumping from an airplane, is it possible when you jump from the airplane that the distance you traveled can be the same at another point that you jump from an airplane? Because you're constantly coming down. So you can't have 2 distances. Once you jump, let's say 1 second from the airplane, that distance is going to be different than 2 seconds from the airplane. Then that distance will be different from 3 seconds from the airplane. Like you can't have, if you jump 1 second from the airplane, that you have 2 different distances, right? If you jump from the airplane, you're gonna keep falling. Like there's no way to fall. Yeah. Say again.
It's gonna change.
Right. There's no way to fall and come back up. All you did was jump. You didn't jump with a jetpack. Yeah. She over there laughing. You didn't jump with a jetpack. You jumped with a parachute. So once you fall, you're not gonna fall and come back up and come back and oscillate and go up and down. So your falling, your distance is gonna be connected to whatever time, your distance and your time that that you're falling. So this situation can be described as a function. And the distance, so the dependent variable is the distance falling, and the independent variable is the time. Dependent variable, independent time. Yeah. So yep. So that's how you try to make that connection between the application that they give you and is it a function? And so you have to put the thinking caps on a little bit, play around with it, get it wrong, then get it right. You know what I mean? Because let's see some of the questions.
Because the parachute threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, I'd be kind of staying still, right? Like,
But you're still gonna constantly drop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no matter how much the wind holds you up, you're still gonna be a constant of dropping. And so one thing they could have done, well, no, they didn't say that, so I ain't even gonna worry about it. But let's go here. Let's look at another one. And so let's say if I get it wrong. So it'll give you a chance to get it wrong. It'll give you a little, hint, and then you can check again and stuff like that. And if you get it wrong, hit similar question and just try it again. So, you may have to get it wrong a couple of times to make sure you fully understand the concept. But once you get it right, you get full credit, and it's like you never got it wrong. So some stuff, once again, even going back, like I said about the Excel assignment, some stuff you just may have to get in there and start playing with it to get a little bit of this concept, the conceptual element that you're trying to enforce with, functions. Because they're trying to give you a real life application, not just leave it to numbers like I was doing in the example.
If we were face-to-face, is this how our homework would be too? Or is it different? Everything is just like super different this semester.
No, this would be, you still would have the math component. It still would be the same thing. It's just that you'll be able to sit in front. It really wouldn't be anything different.
Right.
The fact that we're doing the Zoom live, because see, before online classes, really, it wasn't forced to do the Zoom live at the same time the class would meet and all the stuff like that, because there were no meeting times. That's the main thing that's different, is that we have this element. Really, unless you just want to sit in my face, we're still doing the exact same thing that we would be in class.
Okay.
We would be talking about it, and I would be writing on the board like you saw me writing, and you could hear me talking and writing it out. Yeah, man, it's really the only way you would see this. Only way this would be different to you is just that you had to be in a classroom.
Yeah.
And some people that has to be like, you heard my daughter over here talking about how she had to use the bathroom. Like you wouldn't have that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the element that you can't get around, the fact that it's just us in a room.
Yeah.
But it still would be the same type of flow.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, and I will say this, also it depends on the instructor's access to technology. Because if I didn't have this computer that I got from the math department at another school that I was teaching at, I wouldn't be able to write on the screen and talk to you and all stuff like that. So your instructor will be limited to the amount of technology that he or she has, access to. So I really would be in a tight situation if I didn't have this computer right here. You know what I mean? So, yep.
Good thing you do.
Right.
Good thing.
So can you imagine us trying to do this without?
I have to go to the library or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it would be tough. It would be tough. So at least it's aiding in us getting a better understanding of what we're doing. So so we'll stop right here. Once again, try the stuff out. See if you have any questions. Shoot me an email if you don't want to wait till next class. If not, wait till next class. I'm gonna do whatever I can to.
How do I even get to that part of the homework? I don't even know how to get there.
Oh, let's go back. Closing out. Let's share this screen.
I'm new to all this online stuff.
Not a problem. So main menu, you guys would go to. We have you guys set up as assignments. Yep. So you guys will have this. All of these you won't have, but I know you'll have this assignment link.
This is on Canvas, right?
This is on My Math Lab.
Oh.
Yep. MyMathLab.com will send you here. And there's a course ID. I have to look it up. I don't have it on me right now, but I can give it to you in a few seconds.
I think it's Tucker 04006.
Yes, that's it. I just didn't have all my numbers together. But yep, that's it. Tucker 04006. When you go to register for My Math Lab, it will ask you for that course ID, and type that one in. That'll give you access to the course, and type in all your information. Once you get registered, you can either type in your access code that you've already paid for, if you pay for it from an outside source, or you can just pay for access through the website and it'll give you access, or you can use the 14-day free pass, which will give you 14 days for free.
Whatever you do not use the wrong email address.
yeah, most definitely. What we always suggest is that you use your TCC email. Was that somebody saying something to me? Or was that somebody background?
That's what I did.
Okay.
One number off, and I was like, kept on hitting forgot password, and it was not allowing me.
Oh.
Finally, just like, you know what, screw it, I'll just buy the $75.
Yeah. Well, what you can do with that is that if you have any issues logging on and it's not sending you an email, you can get in contact with me. I can see what your login is or what your password, I mean, not your password, but what your email address that you typed in is. And I think I can change it, or somehow we can change it or something, but at least you would know, what the issue is, because some people don't even come to that resolution until they get with me, that they typed in a number wrong or whatever the case may be. They just know they're having problems. So if you have any problems logging on or registering or anything, just make sure you contact me. I'll do whatever I can to help you guys out. But yeah, so here go all of your assignments that are posted. I think it's pretty much all of them though. Yeah, because there go your quiz and all the stuff like that. So but anything like a midterm or final, we'll talk about that as we get closer to those type of times. Remember I said, I know we'll do a final, not so sure if we're gonna do a midterm or not. It just depends on what's going on and how class is going. But here go all of your assignments. So questions about anything, whether it's registration, your assignments.
Yeah, how do I register?
www.mymathlab.com. Click on register as a student, and then use that course ID to register. All right.
How do I get the course ID?
Oh, we just said it was Tucker.
Oh.
04006.
Okay. 04006.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget Tucker, because that's a part of it as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Got this right here, Tucker 04006. All right. Anything else? Anybody else?
No, other than I'm glad I enrolled into your class.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad to have you all. Glad to have you all. Because if I didn't, then I would be looking for a job.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I will see you guys on Wednesday.
Okay.
And feel free to email me in between time.
Okay,
what is
cool.
the best way to email you? Do you want to be emailed in, like written directly in Canvas, or would you prefer us to email you to your TCC email?
Either one is fine. I get them. When you do Canvas, it goes to my TCC email anyway. So either one. Okay,
so then other teachers just are being difficult, because if it goes to your TCC email anyway, why does it matter?
Oh, I didn't mean, so what I was saying, what I meant.
I'm gonna go. Bye, guys.
One other thing, for those who this is your first time, don't forget there is a student water cooler that if you want to share your tips and stuff like that with each other. I look at there every now and then, but it's really for you guys to converse with each other. Of course, keep the etiquette proper. It's still a classroom. But tips on Excel, something you found out that may be helpful. Yeah, feel free to share it with everybody. And every now and then, like I said, I look in there and chime in if there's something for me to chime in on. But that is in Canvas under the discussions. And I didn't mean to put any of my colleagues on blast. And you got that on recording, so thanks for that. So outside of that, though, Canvas or email, straight email, either way, I'll get it. And so I think some people in here have contacted me through Canvas. So, yep, I'll get it and I'll respond.
The Zoom number is the same for every class?
Yes. Yes.
All right, guys. See you Wednesday.
All right.
See you Wednesday.
You guys have a good one.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye, guys.
You too.
All right, you too.